Hey y'all, it's Jessica with Freedom Canine Training. Welcome to video number 2 in my e-collar how-to series. In this video, I'm going to go over the features of the e-collar as well as give you some tips and show you some exercises so you can get to know your e-collar and become more comfortable using it. I will do my best to get through this as quickly as possible, but it's still going to be a pretty long video, so let's get started. In the box, you will get your receiver with short contact points and biothin collar, your transmitter or remote, charger with splitter to charge both at the same time, lanyard, long hair contact points for dogs with long hair or thick fur, your manual, a tool to remove or replace your contact points, and a tester to test your receiver. Quick overview of your transmitter or remote. This is your antenna. This is your dial for your stimulation level. On this side, you have your stimulation buttons. The other side, this button is for your vibration. This is your magnet to turn your receiver on and off. This little dude down here is where you would clip the lanyard if you want to hang it around your neck. On the front is your battery indicator and your LCD display. On the back, this threaded insert is where you would attach additional accessories like a belt clip. The big button is your on-off switch and light switch. The little button is your momentary and continuous set buttons. We'll go over that a little bit later. And then this little dude here is your charging port. You always want to remember to close the cover tightly so you can keep out fur, dirt, and water. To turn your remote on, press and hold the L button on the back. Under normal operation, your battery light will blink green. If your battery is low and needs to be charged, then it will blink red. And when you are applying a stim, it will be a solid red. When charging, the light will be a solid red, and when fully charged, it will be a solid green. The big number in the center of your display is your stimulation level. You change this by spinning the dial. Spin to the left to go to higher levels, and right to go to lower levels. I like to think of it as pushing forward is up and pushing back is down. To lock a level, you press and hold your dial until the number blinks once. To unlock it, you do the same. Above your number, you will see a 1D if you have a single dog system. If you have a 2-dog system, it will change between 1D and 2D depending on which stimulation button you're pressing. When you lock your level, the corresponding dog number will remain solid and not blink. The letters on the sides, M and C, indicate the set stimulation modes. M for momentary, which is a single stim, and C for continuous, which is a continuous stim that times out after 10 seconds. You change these modes by pressing and holding the M and C button on the back. If you have both M and C, the black button is momentary and the red button is continuous. If you change it to just the M, then your black button will still be momentary, and the red button becomes a 5-level boost. If you set it to C only, then your black button is continuous, and your red button will be your continuous boost. You still have boost when you have both letters showing. For a momentary boost, you're going to press and hold the black button, and then at the same time press the red. And then for a continuous boost, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to press and hold the red, and then boost with the black. Your T button here is the vibration mode. Pressing this vibrates the entire receiver. Quick overview of your receiver or collar. Contact points. In the back is your charging port. Has a little cap on it to keep it safe. On the front is your battery indicator and your light, and then your on-off magnet. To turn your collar on, you will pass the red dot on your remote over the red dot on your collar. And your indicator lights on your collar are the same as they are for your remote. If you want to turn your light on, you will press the L button once for blinking, twice for solid, and a third time we'll turn it off. I always recommend that you take the time to practice using your remote so you get more comfortable with it. The first step is to find the most comfortable way to hold it. I find it easier to hold it at more of an angle and wedge the antenna between my thumb and forefinger. That way I can still turn the dial and use the buttons. Take a couple of minutes and see what feels best for you. To help you get more familiar with working the buttons and the dials, I'm going to walk you through some exercises. Turning your dog's collar off or taking the remote to work with you, if you have time to do it there, will prevent you from giving your dog conflicting information or confusing information while you're trying to learn to use this thing. Find a comfortable spot, grab your remote, turn on some music or use a timer, and let's get started. The first exercise will help you find out how fast your remote dials. Each dial is a little bit different, and you'll learn how much you need to adjust to effectively communicate with your dog without overwhelming them. There will be scenarios where you'll want to dial slowly and others where you'll need to get to higher numbers faster, but I'll go over that later in future videos. I'm going to do these exercises in counts of 4, and in the interest of time, I'm only going to do them a couple of times. You can go back and do each exercise as many times as you need. Let's start with dialing slowly and see what we get. I find it easy to dial slower by kind of squeezing the dial in between my knuckles. Let's start at 0, count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, squeeze, 2, 3, 4. I got a 7, if you can see. There it is. Back to 0, let's do it again, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, squeeze, 2, 3, 4. That time I got a 6. So I learned that with this remote and dialing slowly, I'll go up about 6 or 7. Next, let's see what level you get to by dialing faster. For this, I will adjust my thumb a little bit behind the dial and kind of push forward. Starting at 0, count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, push, 2, 3, 4. That time I got a 15. Back to 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, push, 2, 3, 4. Got a 17 that time. So with pushing or dialing faster, I know that I will go about 15 levels. Depending on your dog's state of mind, there may be times when you need to dial twice. So let's do that together. Back to 0. Count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, push, push, 2, 3, 4. I got a 37. Back to 0, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, push, push, 2, 3, 4. That time I got a 38. The more you practice with your remote, the more comfortable you're going to get and more consistent you're going to get with each of your numbers. In the next 2 exercises, we are going to practice pressing the buttons. If you have just one dog, if it's a single dog system, you're just going to be using the red button. If you have 2 dogs, a 2-dog system, then I recommend that you do the exercise twice. I also recommend that you say the dog's name that corresponds with the button that you're going to use, so it becomes a habit that you press the black button for dog A and the red button for dog B. First, we're going to practice pressing and holding the button. Count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, press, 2, 3, 4, release, 2, 3, 4, press, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to practice tapping. So count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, tap, 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 release, 2, 3, 4, tap, 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 release, 2, 3, 4, tap, 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 tap. Last exercises. In these, we are going to press the buttons and use the dial at the same time. I do want you to pay attention to the number that you get because adding that extra activity will probably put you at a different level than you were with just practicing with the dial. So the first one, we are going to practice pressing and dialing. All right, let's start at 0. Count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, press and dial, 2, 3, 4. So that time I got a 10. Back to 0. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, press and dial, 2, 3, 4. And that time I got an 8. So I know that when I'm pressing and dialing, I'll go up between 8 and 10 every time. The last one is quite a bit harder. We are going to tap and dial at the same time. So starting at 0, count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, tap, 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 and dial, 2, 3, 4. I don't feel like I tapped very well on that, but I got a 7. So let's do it again. We're gonna do this 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, tap and dial, 2, 3, 4. That time I got a 12. Last time. Back to 0, count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, tap, 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 tap. So that time I got a 15. So I know that if I'm tapping and dialing that I'm gonna go up about 12 to 15 every time. Don't worry if your numbers were all over the place. Practicing these exercises will help you become more comfortable using the remote, which will lead into more consistent and effective communication with your dog. All right, y'all, that is it for this video. Thank you for hanging in there. The next video in the series will be about fit, placement, and finding your dog's working level. If there's anything else that I can help support you on, please reach out, let me know, and I'll see y'all later.